Hello, my name is Nicholas Enyart. Today is March 6th, 2020. Today we're going to be doing a dissection of a cow eyeball. This should be fun. So we'll go ahead and just jump right into it. As you can see, on the posterior side of the eyeball, we've easily located the optic nerve, that little stick looking thing that's kind of flapping around. We're just going to go ahead and remove some of the muscle tissue from the main part of the optic nerve, just so we can get a clearer view of everything. So we went ahead and removed, well, most of the fatty tissue. I mean, I did my best. This is my first time looking at a sheep's eyeball. I'm unfamiliar with this, but as you can see, we're getting to the very, very last bit. And voila, there you go. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is view the inside of the anterior chamber of the cornea. And to do so, we're going to have to cut this little like layer right here you can see in the anterior portion of the eyeball. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of cut that open. I don't know what happened to my tooth forceps, so bear with me here. Let's see if we can just kind of get a small incision right there just to get under maybe. Almost. It's a pretty thick layer. I always thought eyeballs were very, fragile, but this membranous tissue that we are dissecting is pretty tough. Even the fatty tissue, I mean, it's either that's just the way it is with cow eyeballs, or this is a very, very healthy cow. Nonetheless. Okay, sorry about the pauses and the random skips. Sometimes it just takes a little more time to open up this. But anyhow, so we cut this layer off the anterior portion of the eye, and as we can see inside here, come on, I just had it. And it looks like almost kind of like a crystal ball, and it represents something that reminds me of like a camera lens, which is super cool. And it makes me wonder why we got the idea for cameras. I mean, maybe they just looked at an eyeball and said, hey, let's just mimic the eyeball. And anyhow, so we went ahead and saw inside the anterior chamber of this eyeball. So now the good old instructions for this exercise are going to tell me to cut it. Going to go ahead and cut a portion of the vitreous chamber of the eye and view the interior. So here's the fun part, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get it in a nice halfway point here. And we're going to go ahead and start our cut. Okay, so it wasn't really an easy cut, but I went ahead and cut the anterior portion of the eye. Ooh, something fell out there. You could see the iris right here. Very cool looking, nice and feather-like. Kind of looks like the iris of human eyes. Very identical. And we could see this nice gelatinous mass as a vitreous humor. Very interesting stuff. Oh, it looks like this needs to go here. Haha, right there. Bam! There it is. And so we're going to go ahead and make another cut. Pretty much you're going to be viewing the posterior portion of the interior of the vitreous chamber. And we're going to go ahead and cut out this part of the eye so we can go ahead and see the retina clearly. Okay, and we're back. So I went ahead and cut the front portion, the anterior portion, and the medial portion, and the posterior portion of the eye. And as you can see, there's the chamber right there that contains the vitreous humor. I can clearly see the retina right here in the back on the posterior portion of the eyeball right here. Very interesting stuff. And so we're going to go ahead and remove that gelatinous membrane out of the eye, and it looks like it just easily come out here. So there it is. Very interesting. Really like the way that looks. Looks like a galaxy. It looks like a piece of jewelry or something beautiful. Anyhow, that's my video. It was very fun. This is my first time dissecting an eyeball. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of fatty tissue around the eyeball. Yeah, it's really bizarre how animal eyeballs resemble human eyeballs very, very, very closely. Very interesting.